Gem in 10 sports. Fuses. Yeah, you know we wildin'. 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 It's that 10 mint Gem Sports. Yeah. It's that Gem Mint 10 Sports.
Welcome back to Gem Mint 10 Sports. I'm Lucky, joined by Josh from Meckman Sports Collectibles. You can find all of the links to all of our pages in the description box below. We also have a listener support button as well. We appreciate all of our monthly supporters for helping us out and supporting us and all that good stuff. Please follow and subscribe. It means so much to us to get those subscriptions from you all, especially on YouTube. We're at 50 subscribers now. With that being said, Josh, it's been a couple of weeks. How you doing? How's your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was pretty good. Got some good turkey and stuffing, and I mean, I'm not a big Thanksgiving meal person, but it's good to have once a year. So, how about yours?
Oh yeah, no, it was good. Spend time with family. We go to my family and then we go to my wife's family, and I catch football in between all the travels.
Yep. Yep.
Just get updates on scores. I don't get to really watch a whole game, but
Yeah,
um,
same here. Same here.
yeah. So for everyone watching and listening, you see it's just me and Josh. Scotty has quit the podcast. I'm just kidding. Scotty and Poke are not able to join us this week, just with everything going on with the holidays. And we actually took a week off to spend time with our families. So it'll be me and Josh this week, but next week we're back to your regular schedule, broadcasting and all that good stuff. So,
Yep.
what do you think, Josh? You want to go into market movers first?
Yeah, we can talk about that. With market movers this week, I haven't really got a ton on that. So I'm not really gonna have anything more news there, but I have some hobby news.
Oh,
I
okay.
know. Let me look here. I have my notes here. Let's see here. Yeah, the new 2022 Topps Chrome update will be offered in hobby stores and retail stores. I think it's like right in the middle of like December 14th, so right around that week. And I don't know if you remember, but correct me if I'm wrong. But the Topps Chrome, when it came out, weren't they missing stuff in like the blaster boxes? Do you remember that?
Yeah, there was something about
And
that where they didn't put everything in there.
yeah, and
But it was
everybody's
supposed to
waiting
be
for
in
this
there.
new
So
update to come out. So I think that's going to be kind of some big stuff coming out here in the middle of December. The nice thing is you don't have to uh worry about going through like the Christmas time, like the Black Friday sales and trying to go and get it, whatever. So yeah, right now, other than that, for market movers or hobby news, that's kind of all I have right there. Did you see any deals out there for Black Friday for any sites that had good deals or anything like that for the hobby?
yeah, so DA Card World, I do like them a lot. They had some good sales. I got to say the sports card shop by my house, not so much on cards but memorabilia.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Singletary autographed helmet they were selling for like $55. I was like, dude,
Oh,
that's
nice.
kind of a steal, you know.
Yeah.
Keith Jenkins, I think from the Packers, his autograph helmet was like $29. Autograph mini
Oh,
helmet.
wow.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
you
should have
couldn't beat
just
that.
picked these up, but everyone bought them all. They were sold out completely. But he
Yeah.
had a lot of autographs. So autographed hockey pucks, autographed jerseys. Justin Fields autographed jerseys like $100 on
Yeah.
Black Friday deals. So, but that's pretty much all I saw for cards and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't able to make it to any of my local card shops to see what kind of deals they had, but yeah, I noticed a couple different places online that had some decent deals. I wasn't able to take advantage of them, but yeah, I'm sure there was some stuff out there. So
oh, if I could take advantage of everything I saw, I'd be a broke man. So max out
yeah,
credit card,
exactly.
especially on DA Card World, they had a lot of good sales on baseball. So I
Yeah,
was like, oh man, if only I had the money right now, I'd rob their
yeah.
inventory. But it's
Yeah,
all
I'm sure
good. So
This Tops update will probably do pretty well. I know next week Scotty will probably have a lot more to talk about that because he's obviously a big baseball guy. So I'm sure he'll have a lot more to say about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's going to do probably pretty well here in the middle of December.
yeah, that's definitely going to be a hobby box. I think. When I start doing breaks here, stuff with me and you want to do on the side, I think that Topps Chrome will be a good. That's definitely a good
Yeah,
product. So you can't
yeah,
go wrong with that. And I think baseball. I think it's the only product that Topps makes besides like, unlicensed NBA stuff or whatever. Like at
yeah,
Topps
exactly.
Finest, it isn't what Topps Finest used to be. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
but yeah. So
Yeah, I
what
miss
have you?
those Tops finest cards. Those were pretty
Oh
nice
yeah.
cards back then. I really
Yeah.
like those a lot.
Yeah, one of my friends had the finest Kobe Bryant rookie.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but we were kids, right? So
Yep.
right now you want that card, but he
Yep.
traded it for like 20 random cards, like a Kevin Garnett base card, and he thought it was a good deal. I'm like, dude, you're so crazy. What were you
Oh.
thinking?
Well, you won't believe this. I met with I think it was something. It might have been. I don't think it was you. No, I think it was the. Were you the one that told me about the friend that you had that used their card for in their bicycle?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you were talking about that. They had like a rookie Kobe Bryant or something like that, and they end up using that card, which would be a huge card nowadays. They use that card like in their bicycle to make the motorbike
yeah.
noise and stuff. I'm sure there's so many stories that from people like that have done that in the past, and they like even the Pokemon nowadays, how big they are. Like kids back then just doing crazy things with them, and then they realize, oh, what was I sitting on?
I'll tell you one of the craziest stories, and if Jared, one of our customers listening, he's gonna be really upset. But so my mom and dad like to make crafts when I was
Yeah.
younger. That's the gifts they would get for Christmas. They'd make stuff that looked really cool. And
Yep.
my uncle, huge Chicago Bulls fan, right? So they made him like this box made out of popsicle sticks, all
Mhm.
decorated basketball and sports related stuff, and they have no idea about cards. They just think cards, whatever, dollar cards or whatever. And
Yeah.
they glued a card on the top lid so that you could see it and you could open it. So he opens it and he has to make the choice to not be rude to them and be like,
Yep.
"Oh, this is really cool." But imagine the horror on his face when he realized that they glued an 86, 87 Fleer Jordan rookie on the lid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's lost it now, like, because it didn't matter. It was worthless to him at that point. The whole back is
Oh
glued, and
yeah.
but
Yeah, there's nothing you can do there.
yeah, he's like, "Oh
Oh, that's
yeah, this
crazy.
is a great gift."
Oh,
Like,
I'd lose my mind if that would happen to
oh yeah.
me.
So, and they're like, "Yeah, we found this random Jordan card, probably a couple bucks," but it's like, "Oh my,
Yeah.
if you only knew." So, but yeah,
Wow.
I know that you wanted to talk about like comps, right? So we could go into that if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, so yeah, I was talking to Scotty the other day or today, whatever it was, that I sold a card as a Jordan Alvarez optic auto. I sold it for like $40. The comps on it on eBay were anywhere between like $45, $55, somewhere in there. I always try to sell my stuff a little bit below comps because I can hopefully get it at a decent price where I'm still gonna make my profit and then sell it to people lower so they can at least get a good deal out of it. But with that auto, that's probably such a good deal still because you could probably sell that for a little bit more, even now after they won the World Series and he's a young player and everything else. But yeah, I don't know about you, but yeah, mostly everybody goes to eBay for comps nowadays. I don't know if that's dying off now or how where people are going to switch and where they're going to go to next. But it's hard, and I'm sure you've noticed it. But it's hard with eBay because on eBay, yes, you get your comps, you get what people have bought it for, but you're not seeing what people are selling these cards for on live shows like we do, on whatnot shows, TikTok lives, in person, whatever it is. You don't see what they're selling it for. So when you go on there and it shows that that card sold 5 times in the last month, and one time it sold for $80, 3 times it sold for $65, and then another time it sold for $20.
Yeah.
So how do you even how do you even explain that to someone that like that's just it has to be an outlier because you don't know why that sold for $20. So say someone just randomly had that card, put it online for a bid, and or maybe put it on there for like 19.99 or something because it's just someone that doesn't know anything about the card era, and someone bought it for $20. They just got a huge deal out of it, but that doesn't mean that that's what the card is worth.
Right.
So it's hard, and it's hard to kind of comp things nowadays. The one thing I do like is, and I don't know if the listeners have heard of this before, but it's called 130point.com. And basically, so it still goes through eBay. And I don't know if you've noticed on eBay though, you can see where sometimes it'll say or best offer accepted, but it won't give you a price on eBay what that offer was that someone accepted for it. But on 130point.com, if you go in and you put in like your card details, it will show you everything that card is sold for on eBay, but it'll also show you the or best offers. It'll show you the price that it actually sold for. So
Yeah, I have
for
a
instance,
yeah.
I
No, I was
have
gonna say I just pulled
a
it up. I've
tops.
never heard of it till now, till you brought it up
Oh,
today.
really? Okay.
So
Yeah, so I'll show. Let me get this here. And I don't know if anybody can really see it, but I got a Topps Pristine Eli Manning rookie mini card. So that card right now in a PSA 10 is a low pop card. I have it in SGC 10. I couldn't find sales on it at all when I was trying to price this out. The only thing I saw was on eBay. It said PSA 10 sold for the guy had it listed for like 800 and some dollars, but it said or it said best offer accepted. Well, when I was on eBay, I couldn't find the price for it because it won't show you what the offer was. Well, I sat on it for like a month or so. Someone on my live wanted to buy it. They said, "How much do you want for it?" One they at first they offered like $50.
yeah,
I didn't know anything about it at the time. I'm thinking like, well, I don't know if I want to do that yet because I saw what the listing was on it. Um, Let me see. Well, then they offered, well, what about 400? Then I was like, well, in my head, I'm sitting there thinking, well, why are you going so high now?
yeah.
And so then I kind of did a little research. And that's when I found 130point.com and I typed the same card in there and it came up that they showed the PSA 10 or best offer accepted on eBay, but right below it, it said it was accepted for
Oh,
$750.
so it'll tell you what
So
it was
then I real
accepted for.
yeah, exactly. It shows you exactly what it's accepted for. So that's one way in my eyes that's one way to kind of get a feel of like to help kind of like eliminate some of the eBay faults where like you can't see all the pricing on eBay because there is a lot of times where I'll go on there and there'll be like 7 listings that have sold. 3 of them will show the price and the other ones will show best offer accepted. So I can't ever really tell what is that really going for. Now I have that option to find that. Um, and unless you know of any, I do know there's a couple apps out there that will you can like scan your card and it'll tell you what that card is sold for
Hmm.
outside of even eBay. But I've had a lot of problems with doing that. I'll scan the card and it'll come up a whole different card, or I'll scan the card and it'll come up a different like grade or different even a different player or something like that. So I don't know if I trust those apps that much and how that works, but yeah, that's right now. I think that's just where we're at in the hobby is yeah, you want to go to eBay, but as a buyer and as a seller, you want to make sure that you definitely trust your gut and you definitely do your due diligence into researching what that card can go for.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I mean, that's what I miss is the good old days. How much is my card worth? Well, let me go buy the Beckett at the card store
Yep.
and flip through and find my card, and I'd have a general idea what it's
Yep.
worth. For me, like I do go on eBay to comp cards because I gotta have some form of idea as to what they're selling for. But at the end of the day,
Yep.
and I know you'll agree to this, but like comps are whatever someone's willing to spend on it. And I've told people this, even Poke will message us like, is this a good deal or whatever? If you're willing to have that in your collection, what are you willing to
Hmm.
spend on it? Because like for me,
Yep.
I mean, I showed it on my top 5 PC cards video, the Kobe Bryant base card. It's a base card. I paid
Hmm.
35 for it because that's my favorite base card of all time, right? So what are
Hmm.
you willing to spend on it? I didn't comp out and see what I could get it for. I'm like 35 is not a bad deal. I'll just, I look more for the
Yep.
buyer or the seller's reviews. If is he 100%? Is he, you know, reliable? He's not gonna, oh, it got lost in the mail or whatever. But at the end of
Yep.
the day, what are you willing to
Yeah.
spend on it? So, you know,
Yep.
it's kind of hard to say. I mean, what the best method would be nowadays.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a buyer and a seller. They have to individually think about what they're doing with that card and what they want to sell it for. So like as a seller, for me, it depends on the card and who it is. Like for instance, if I have a Jalen Hurts rookie and say the comp right now on it's $50, but say he goes off the next game and he does well and he's playing better, or not playing better, but he just plays well that game and has a great game. I personally, I'm gonna bump that card up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
I'm gonna bump that because now there might not be any cells out there that show that, and someone might say, well, no, the comps on this card, the last sold price was like a couple weeks ago. The comps on this card are this price. Well, I get that, but he's had 2 solid games since then and his cars are going to start going up in value. I personally don't want, and it all comes down to whether you are willing to like whether you're willing to part ways with something. If it's like say a Michael Jordan PSA 10 and his value is kind of around the same, but you really don't care to get, like, you just kind of want to get rid of it and make some money, then lower it down a little bit, sell for a little bit less, get your profit out of it, and give them a good deal also. But you can't price your stuff a little bit higher than comps are and then expect that, well, I can't sell nothing, I'm so desperate to sell, and then expect that like people are gonna buy it. If they don't want to buy it at that price, that's just not what's you're gonna have to either lower your price or you're gonna have to deal with hold on to that card. And that goes with the buyers also. If you see someone that has a card and it's priced over comps, you ask them, like, why do you have this priced over comps? Well, they'll give you a reason. Well, I have a little bit of moving with it, and then maybe you can counter offer them. Or they might say, well, Jalen Hurts has been going off. He's playing good football. I think he's going to keep going, getting better. So my deal right now is that yes, I want to have this a little higher than comps, but in about 4 or 5, 6 weeks, when he has all these good games that he should have, I want people are going to be taking that risk, but it's going to pay off for you in the long run.
Yeah.
And that's just it is just like the stock market. You're taking chances. It's all risk. It's all like something that you have to kind of make in your own mind what you want to do with that card. But like you said, if you're just collecting the card, pay what you want for that
Yep.
card. If you have to double your amount that card's worth, but you really want that card for your collection, well, just pay it.
Yep.
It's better to have it now than to have to wait, and then maybe it keeps going up, and then you really lose out on it. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely good insight there. That yeah, people just have to kind of think more about what they're doing, whether they are buying or they are selling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's good to like what you do, right? So you'll buy, a lot of cards and you're getting them at a
Yep.
cheaper deal. So you have that flexibility to negotiate, right? Because a lot of
Yes.
people, especially me, if I want a card, I go, okay, I want this Trevor Lawrence Gym Mint 10, which I have, right? And I see comps for 180, 180, 180, 180. Well, if I go in your live and you say I'm selling it for 180, I don't want to, but I want a deal. Like I could buy it from anyone else
Yep.
at 180. What are you going to do for me?
Yep.
So for us as
Yep.
sellers, it's important to get the deals on those cards. Like if we're going to flip them and sell them, I mean, you got to buy them on that list. You have that flexibility to negotiate. I mean, that Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence sells for 100. That's the comps on it, right? But I told the guy, I'm
Hmm.
like, you know what? It's for your kid, and I know what I paid for it. 85 sound good to you? Like we could do 85 if you want. You know,
Yep.
it's all about just people want to find the deal. You know, so as much
Yep.
as you want to look at
Yeah.
comps, I mean, someone may not want to pay comps. They want to look for something
Yep.
cheaper.
And if you really in your head, and if your mind, you think that Trevor Lawrence is going to go off, like say this year or next year, and you tell yourself, like, you know what, I want to sell this card, but I'm not desperate to sell this
Yeah,
card. So I'm going to keep it where it's at or maybe a little higher and just tell people, listen, this is as much of an investment for me as it is going to be for you. I personally, I'm not desperate to sell this card. And I don't think that's wrong to tell customers. I don't think it's wrong to tell people that I'm not desperate to sell this card, but for the right price, I will sell it so you can have a chance at making your money on this card
yeah,
too. But I mean, yeah, I think you have to kind of just stick to your gut and what you want, and don't let the people come in and be like, oh, well, this card only comps at this price. That price is terrible that you have, or this. People are always going to come into your lives. People are always going to come in to your whatnot streams, wherever it is, and kind of hate on you a little bit. I mean, or even in life itself, like if you meet them in person, like, no, that car is not worth that. You kind of have to just suck it up and deal with it and let them feel the way they feel, because they're more likely they're probably mad that you have that card listed for
Yeah.
that, because they want that card and they want to make a deal on it, but they know that you know what you're talking about basically. So they know that they can't will you down to get that really cheap rate.
Right. Yeah, people love to go in lives and hate. You were when I was doing the Black Friday deals, remember that guy that came in? And I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing these blasters at 40." Oh, well,
Oh,
you get them at Fanatics for
yeah.
39. I'm like, or 29. I'm like, well, then go to Fanatics. But Fanatics ain't top
Yep.
loading and
Yep.
sleeving and giving you a
Mhm.
good show about it either. So yeah,
Yep. And on top of that, you were spending 40 for an optic blaster that you also run a thing where if you pick the right number, you got your second blaster
yeah,
half off. So Fanatics ain't offering that. They aren't offering where you can rip the cards in front of you, which at the end of the day, that brings an extra excitement to buying cards. Is you're gonna get all the cards that are in the box no matter what, but now you have the excitement of someone opening your cards for you. You get to watch it on screen. You have everybody that's in the live also watching it, commenting like, "Oh man, I hope you get something good." And when you do get something good, it feels that much better. Basically, knowing that, oh, I just hit this and it's gonna be coming in the mail. But yeah, then you sleeve every card, then you top load every card, or you top load every hit. So that alone, like, and then what you said, Fanatics, they're it's $29.99 with free shipping, but you offer free shipping already on top of
yep,
your stuff. So you got, I mean, I understand that, yeah, Fanatics, they are, it's like also comparing Walmart or Target to your little smaller mom and pop
right,
stores. Like they're not going to offer, they can't order as much as Walmart and Target does. So they can't offer the same pricing. It's the same thing with us. Like we can't offer that same pricing on stuff that Fanatics can do, because Fanatics can do different things than we can.
yeah,
But we try to do it more on a personal level, where when you come in to buy off us, we're gonna try and make it fun, exciting, maybe hopefully help you learn a little bit more about the hobby, whatever it is. We're gonna offer that like more in person interaction with you than you will if you just order online from
yeah.
Fanatics.
I mean, yeah, and especially just being in that environment. I mean, if I was at home and I'm, 12 years old, right? I always bring up the past because that was when I was ripping mad cards, like boxes every day. But
Yeah.
if I rip a box and I pull something awesome and I'm by myself, it's like, ooh, that's cool. But if I'm in the card store and I buy a hobby pack and the shop owner's like, yeah, let's see what you got, and there's other kids around me and I'm opening it and I pull something crazy, like that excitement is crazy. So same thing we provide in the lives, like especially the family that we all kind of built. Shout out to Poke for kind of starting that, but when we got like the Christina, Paul, Jared, they all get so excited when someone pulls something crazy. That's the what you're paying for,
Yep.
is that just being with other like-minded
Exactly.
people, enjoying the hobby. And we throw other
Yep.
stuff in the box for them too, like hey, what's your favorite team? I'll throw some extra
Yeah.
cards in there for you. I know Target and Fanatics ain't throwing
Yep.
extra cards in your box for you to say
No.
thank you. So
Nope.
you know
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. So I mean,
And then I think the last segment me and you talked about doing is when breaks go bad, but it's not necessarily breaks, but when live
yeah.
games go bad. So
Yeah, mine would have to be live games. Yeah, unfortunately, and I know Scotty had something happen with him with a Monopoly game, but I've been running this dice game that I'm trying to get started on my lives. Basically, you have a pull box, then you have 6 items up on the table, and people roll 5 dice, and you have, like, say the best item is a autographed jersey, which is what I do. If you, the best roll you can have for that autographed jersey is a 5 or a 30. So there's 5 dice. You have 5 1s or 5 6s. And then you win that jersey. If you roll, and then it goes down basically 530, 629, and so forth. And then the middle numbers are 11 through 24 get cards out of the pull box. So you try to put like inserts, colors,
right,
rookies, whatever in the pull box that still make it worth it. Well, what I did when and it was my first game. It was the first time I rolled. The first time I did it. I did it. I rolled. He ended up getting. He bought 5 rolls, won 3 cards out of the pull box, and won 2 of the middle prizes. Which is, in this game, it's not supposed to be impossible, but it's a risk type game. To me, it's a low risk, high reward game if you can hit it. You're not supposed to hit that often. He hit two in the same five rolls. He hit two of them. Well, I think I went like a day. I went a day without knowing what happened. And the next day, I'm back on live, and someone asked me, how many dice do you roll? And I said, six. And as I said six, I thought in my head, why does that not sound right? So I was like, I didn't say nothing at the time, but then after I got off my live, I didn't do any games that day. So I got off my live and I went and watched some other people's lives. And then I remembered it's five dice. Because technically, if you think about it, if five is the top prize and you have six dice, there's no way to get five. But now you have, so you're getting higher numbers. And yeah, so I rolled six dice for 5 times for a guy, and that's why he ended up getting 2 prizes, which, hey, you have to live and learn. So I accept it, whatever. It was my wrongdoing. I learned now, but yeah, that was a little bit on the embarrassing side, I'll say. Have you ever had anything happen to you that you've done, or
See, for
not
me,
yet?
it's like the deal or no deal is what I do. And it's not necessarily what
Mhm.
I'm doing wrong, but it's just the game of chance. Like I end up giving away
Yep.
something so much when I don't have to. So I did deal or no deal
Yep.
the other night. I think you were in there most of the time, watching
Yeah, I think
on the
so.
$1 million prize
Yeah.
autograph football jersey. And the guy
Mhm.
only had one prize left, is the $1 million case. Everything else was, gonna be losers, but he was getting close. And I'm like, oh man, like
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm playing. He's gonna take the $1 million prize. So I offer him
Yep.
optic blaster, and I offer him,
Yep.
I think, a Justin Fields rookie, a Kyle Pitts rookie, Trevor Lawrence, like 4 good rookies, right? And he's like, you
Yeah.
know what? I will take that deal because I want the optic for my son, right? And I'm like, oh, awesome. I want
Yeah.
to, again, going back to, when I was a kid, like, it's awesome. I want the kid to get something cool. So he made the deal. I'm like, all right, let's see what your next case would have been. And it was the $1 million prize. So he would have lost. And I gave up all
Yeah.
this stuff when I technically didn't have to. So for me,
Yep.
it's like I have to really find that balance of, when I'm not giving away too much. Because
Yeah.
same thing happened before. I pulled a Genesis from Poke, and I gave that away with like 5 other cards and something else. And I gave him like $70 worth of
Oh,
stuff to protect the $1 million prize. The next case, he would have been done.
yeah.
Like, so if
Yep.
anyone's listening, come take
Yeah,
advantage of it
that's the
because
big
I'm
thing.
kind of stupid at that game.
Yeah. And it's not that, like, even if they hit the $1 million prize and they say they're out of cases, like, you're still throwing them. You're still giving them
Oh
some
yeah.
good value. Because you'll still throw them some things here and there. It's just it helps with on your side of it. It helps like the cost basically. Like there, you might give away $70 worth of product. Where if you would have hit the $1 million case, you would have gave him whatever he spends to get in it. You might have gave him like maybe $10 less of product that so he made out whatever it was. So that's hard too, because there you go. There, that game would probably be hard for me to run because you
Oh
gotta be on
yeah.
your toes. You gotta kind of like you gotta prepare for the other future rounds, like thinking like, well, what if he doesn't hit it here? What if he doesn't hit it there? What am I going to offer here and there? So yeah, that's a very hard game, but it's very interesting. I know everybody
Yeah.
loves it. Every time you go live on TikTok, like you get a ton of people in there watching that
Yeah.
game. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely a
and
very
then
interesting one.
Scotty, he did the Monopoly. He's not here to tell you, so I'll keep it brief. But he created a Monopoly board. He didn't steal this idea from it. He's like, you know
Hmm.
what, this would be a great idea. And so he did it like every chance card was like a prize, or every property was a prize. But some chance cards would be like, the benefit to you, you could start from the beginning of the game and run the board. Because when you do
Hmm.
one full lap on the board, the game is over. But if you get halfway across and
Okay.
then now you get to come back to the beginning, you get to win more prizes.
Yep.
He didn't find the ratio of
Yep.
where all this stuff was going to be. So Jared played, and Jared
Hmm.
just robbed him blind. Like, because he
Really?
hit every single property. So he got like all these cards. The chance cards, he pulled a bunch of pull box items, packs from blasters, packs from hobby boxes. So I have a picture I'll show you. The whole middle of the board is covered in prizes. And then every time you hit like
Oh
luxury
boy.
tax and all that, he throws cards into free
Yeah.
parking. Jared hit free parking. So he gets all those cards. Like, and Jared's typing in like, I feel bad, but you did the game. So I'm gonna play
You
till we're
know.
done.
Yeah.
and he just took so much from him.
Jared's probably one of your guys' best customers, so I'm sure Jared in his mind was thinking like, "Oh, I've given them so
Oh
much
yeah,
money, so I'm finally
all
getting what I
those
want
breaks he
back."
didn't hit anything. He's like, now's my time to shine. But
Yeah, exactly. Yep, he's like, "Oh, I'm
yeah,
taking it all now."
but but yeah, that's about it for
Oh my.
crazy
Yep.
game stories. I've seen some good games though on
Yeah,
TikTok
that's
that I would love to try, but I just don't have the patience, you know.
yeah, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I think that's what it's all about, especially with TikTok lives and stuff. Like, we have to make it interesting. I know I personally do well on Whatnot with singles and just basically sitting on there as like a live online shop basically. So when you come in, like I talk to you back and forth, whatever I can find what you're looking for. But on TikTok, people are in and out so fast because they're not all there just looking for like sports cars. They're there watching TikTok, kind of just scrolling through, wasting time, whatever it is. So it's good to get someone's attention and yeah, like the dice game's good. I know your deal or no deal game's good. I saw actually recently, and I might want to try it on mine. It's called Find the
Oh,
Joker. So basically, you have 6 cards on the table, and you have a pull box. You have 6 cards on the table, and then you have like your hits. And basically, I shuffle them up. I put the cards down. You have to basically pick the cards. If you find the Joker, you get a spin wheel, one spin on the spin wheel for one of the hits, and if you don't find the cards, then you just get like a pull or two out of the pull box. That's a very interesting one. I know someone did one where it's like a
yeah,
blackjack type style one. I don't know how that went. I haven't seen it yet, but I know I love blackjack, and I know there's millions of people that love blackjack. So if you can play blackjack and win sports cards at the same time, I think people are going to really like that idea too. So I think, yeah, people are going to always be coming out with different things. So yeah, I think if everybody just stays tuned with all of our lives and stuff and all of our shows, and hey, throw us ideas out there. If you guys want to see something, if you want us to try something, that's what we're here to do. We're here to try different things, to expand our channels, to hopefully bring different things to everybody. So yeah, give us some ideas if you in the comments if you guys can think
absolutely.
of
So,
anything.
well, yeah, I think it's a good episode. We're without two of our key components, but we'll all be back next week. So,
Yeah.
you got anything else, Josh?
Yep. No, I think that's good for this week. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and we're getting
Yeah,
ready
for
for
sure.
Christmas
So,
now. So
next week, yeah,
one holiday after
next week we'll
another.
be back to our regular broadcasting schedule, but I'm sure we'll take the week off for Christmas and spend time with our family, and then
Yep.
pretty soon we'll be in season 2 here. We're in season 1 right now of Gem and 10 Sports, so season 2 will be
Yep.
right fresh after the new year, I'm thinking, and then more exciting things to come. We'll upload a
Yep.
bunch of videos this week. Scotty and Poke, I'm sure, will update videos or upload them because they weren't on the podcast. And,
Yep.
stay tuned for those. But we do appreciate everyone's support. Again, there's a listener support tab. If you want to be a monthly supporter, we could bring you more content. It'll help us buy better equipment, some vlogging equipment, because we're going to be going to card shows here. So, keep a lookout for that. And other than that, we appreciate the support. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us wherever you're listening to us, and we'll be back next week. All right, all right, Josh. We'll
Yep.
talk to you.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right.